going to ask questions about Jane and Anne. Are Jane and Anne overweight?
Are Jane and Anne overweight?
No, Jane and Anne aren't overweight.
No, Jane and Anne aren't overweight. Are they slim?
Yes, they're slim.
Yes, they are slim.
Are they slim or overweight?
Are they slim or overweight?
They're slim.
They are slim.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, were they slim?
No,
No.
they weren't slim 2 years ago.
They were slim 2 years ago.
2 years ago, were they slim or overweight?
2 years ago, were they slim or overweight?
2 years ago, they were overweight.
2 years ago, they was overweight.
Are they still overweight now?
Are they still overweight now?
No, they aren't.
No,
now,
they aren't.
They're no longer overweight.
Now, they are no longer overweight.
Did they used to be overweight?
Did they used to be overweight?
Yes, that's correct. They
Yes,
used to be
that's
overweight.
correct. They used to
When
be
were they overweight?
When was they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They were overweight 2 years ago.
Two years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight?
2 years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
2 years
that's
ago,
correct.
Jane and
2 years
Anne
ago,
were both overweight.
Jane and Anne were both overweight.
Were they equally overweight?
Were they equally overweight?
No, they weren't equally overweight.
No,
one of them was
they
more
weren't
overweight
equally
than
overweight.
the other.
One of them was more
Was
overweight
Anne more
than
overweight
the other.
than Jane?
Were Anne more overweight than Jane?
No, Anne wasn't more overweight than Jane.
No, Anne wasn't
Who
more
was
overweight
more overweight
than
than
Jane.
the other?
Who was more overweight than the other?
Jane was more overweight than Anne.
Jane was more overweight than
Was Jane
Anne.
a little overweight or
Was
very
Jane a
overweight?
little overweight or very overweight?
Well, Jane was very overweight.
Well, Jane was very
What about
overweight.
Anne? Was
What
Anne
about
a little
Anne?
overweight or very
Was
overweight?
Anne a little overweight or very overweight?
Anne was a little overweight.
Anne was a little overweight.
Tell me again.
Tell me
Who was
again.
more overweight than the other?
Who was more overweight than the other?
Jane was more overweight than Anne.
Jane was more overweight
Is
than
Jane still
Anne.
overweight?
Is Jane still overweight?
No, Jane is no longer
No,
overweight.
Jane is no longer overweight.
Is Anne still overweight?
Is Anne still overweight?
No, Anne is no longer overweight.
No, Anne
Did
is
Jane
no longer
and Anne
overweight.
used to be overweight?
Did Jane and Anne used to be overweight?
Yes, Jane and
Yes,
Anne used to be
Jane and
overweight.
Anne used to be overweight.
When were they overweight?
When was they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They was overweight 2 years ago.
How overweight were they?
How overweight were they?
Well, Jane
Well,
was very overweight.
Jane was very
and Anne
overweight.
was a little overweight.
And Anne was a little overweight.
Now, I'm going to ask questions about Kay and her brother Tom. When Kay and Tom were little, did they
When
think
Kate and
Superman
Tom
was
were
real?
little, did they think Superman was real?
No, they didn't think Superman was real when they were
No,
little.
they didn't think Superman was real
Who
when
did
they
they
were
think was
little.
real when they were little?
When did they think was real when they was little?
When they were little,
When
they
they
thought
were
Santa
little,
Claus was real.
they thought Santa Claus was real.
Did they think zombie was real?
Did they think zombie was real?
No, they didn't think zombie was real.
No, they didn't think zombies
Who did
was
they think
real.
was real?
Who did they think was real?
They thought Santa Claus was real.
They thought Santa Claus was real.
When Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named
When
Nick?
Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named Nick?
Yes, that's correct. When
Yes,
Tom
that's
was a
correct.
boy, he
When
had a
Tom
friend
was a
named
boy,
Nick.
he had a friend
What
named
did
Nick.
Nick tell him one day?
What did Nick tell him one day?
One day, Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
One day, Nick told
Did
him
Nick
that
tell
Santa
him that
Claus
Superman
was
wasn't
real.
real?
Did Nick tell him that Superman wasn't real?
No, Nick didn't tell him that
No,
Superman wasn't
Nick
real.
didn't tell him that Superman
Did
wasn't
Nick
real.
tell him that zombies weren't real?
Did Nick tell him that zombies wasn't real?
No, Nick didn't tell him
No,
that
Nick
zombies
didn't tell
weren't real.
him that zombies wasn't real.
What did Nick tell him?
What did Nick tell him?
Nick told him that Santa
Nick
Claus
told him
wasn't
that
real.
Santa Claus wasn't real.
When Tom realized that Santa Claus wasn't
When
real,
Tom realized
did he
that
feel
Santa
angry?
wasn't real, did they feel angry?
No, that's not how we felt.
No,
When
that's
Tom
not how we
realized that
felt.
Santa wasn't real,
When Tom
he
realized
didn't feel
that Santa
angry.
wasn't real, he didn't feel
Did he
angry.
feel embarrassed?
Did he feel embarrassed?
No, he didn't feel embarrassed.
No, he didn't feel
How did he
embarrassed.
feel?
How did he feel?
He felt surprised and sad at the same time.
He felt surprised and sad
Who was
at the
surprised
same
and
time.
sad at the same time?
Who was surprised and sad in the same time?
It was Tom. Tom
It
was
was
surprised
Tom.
and sad at the
Tom
same
was
time.
surprised and sad at the same time.
When Tom got home that day,
When
what
Tom
did he
got
do?
home that day, what did he do?
When Tom got home that day, he
When
told
Tom
Kate
got
that
home
Santa
that
didn't
day,
actually exist.
He told Kate that Santa didn't
Did he tell
actually
Kate
exist.
that the parents were sick?
Did he tell him that the parent was sick?
No, he didn't tell
No,
Kate that
he
the
didn't
parents
tell
were
Kate
sick.
that the parent was sick.
Did he tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist?
Did he tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist?
No, he didn't
No,
tell Kate that
he
ghosts
didn't tell
didn't
Kate
actually
that
exist.
ghosts didn't actually
What did he
exist.
tell Kate?
What did he tell Kate?
He told Kate that Santa
He told
didn't
Kate
actually
that Santa
exist.
didn't actually exist.
When Kate realized that Santa didn't
When
exist,
Kate realized
did
that
she
Santa
laugh?
didn't exist, did she laugh?
No.
No,
Kate
Kate
didn't
didn't
laugh
laugh
when she realized that Santa didn't exist. What happened when she realized
What
that
happened
Santa
when she
didn't
realized
exist?
that Santa didn't exist?
When she realized that Santa
When
didn't
she
exist,
realized that
she
Santa
cried
didn't
for almost
exist,
an hour.
she cries for almost an
Did she
hour.
cry for just a few minutes?
Did she cry for just a few minutes?
No, she
No.
didn't cry for just a few minutes.
She didn't cry for just
How
a
long
few
did she
minutes.
cry?
How long did she cry?
She cried for almost an hour.
She cries for almost an hour.
Was it Tom who cried for almost an hour?
Was it Tom who cries for almost an hour?
No, it
No.
wasn't Tom who cried
It
for almost
wasn't
an
Tom
hour.
who cries for almost an
Who
hour.
cried for almost an hour?
Who cries for almost an hour?
It was Kate.
It's
Kate cried
Kate.
for almost an hour.
Kate cries for almost an hour.
Now, I'm going to ask questions about two sisters named Grace and Emma. Do Grace and Emma have pets?
Do Grace and Emma have a pet?
Yes.
Yes.
Grace and Emma have pets.
Grace and Emma have
Are
a
their
pet.
pets dogs?
Are they pets dog?
No, their pets aren't dogs.
No, their pets
Are
are
their
dogs.
pets cats?
Are they pets cats?
No, their pets aren't cats.
No, their pets are
What
cats.
kind of animal are their pets?
What kind of animal are their pets?
Their pets are spiders.
Their pets are
How many
spiders.
spiders do they have?
How many spiders do they have?
They have 3 spiders.
They have 3
Do
spiders.
they think their spiders are scary?
Do they think the spiders are scary?
No, they don't think their spiders are scary.
No,
What
they
do
don't
they
think the
think about
spiders
their
are
spiders?
scary. What do they think about the spiders?
Well, they think their spiders are
Well,
cute.
they think the spiders are cute.
When Grace and Emma were young,
When Grace
were
and
they
Emma
afraid
were
of
young,
birds?
was they afraid of birds?
No, they weren't
No,
afraid of birds
they
when they were
wasn't
young.
afraid of birds when they was
Were they afraid
young.
of dogs?
Was they afraid of dogs?
No, they weren't afraid of dogs.
No, they weren't afraid
What were
of
they
dogs.
afraid of?
What was they afraid of?
They were afraid of spiders.
They were afraid of spiders.
When they were young,
When
did
they
they
were
think spiders
young,
were cute?
did they think the spider were cute?
No, they
No,
didn't think
they
spiders
didn't
were
think
cute
the
when they
spider
were
were
young.
cute when they was
Did they
young.
think spiders were interesting?
Did they think spiders were interesting?
No, they didn't think spiders
No,
were
they
interesting.
didn't think spiders were interesting.
What did they think about spiders?
What did they think about spider?
They thought spiders were really scary.
They thought spider was
Who thought
really
spiders
scary.
were scary?
Who thought spider was scary?
Grace and Emma thought spiders were scary.
Grace and Emma thought spider was scary.
Did Grace and Emma watch a cartoon one day?
Did Grace and Emma watch a cartoon one day?
Yes, they did.
Yes,
Grace
they
and
did.
Emma watched a cartoon
Grace
one
and
day.
Emma watched a cartoon one
Was
day.
the cartoon about dogs?
Was a cartoon about dogs?
No, the cartoon wasn't about dogs.
No, the cartoon
Was the
wasn't
cartoon
about dogs.
about cats?
Was a cartoon about cats?
No, the cartoon wasn't about cats either.
No, the cartoon wasn't about
What
cats
was the cartoon
either.
about?
What was the cartoon about?
The cartoon was about spiders.
The cartoon wasn't about
Were there
spider.
spiders in the cartoon?
Was there spider in the cartoon?
Yes.
Yes.
There were spiders in a cartoon.
There was spider in the cartoon.
While watching the cartoon, did they feel bored?
While watching the cartoon, did they feel bored?
No.
No,
They
they
didn't feel
didn't
bored while
bored
watching the cartoon.
While watching the cartoon.
Was the cartoon boring?
Was the cartoon boring?
No, the cartoon wasn't boring.
No, the cartoon
Was
wasn't
the cartoon
boring.
funny?
Was the cartoon funny?
Yes, the cartoon was
Yes,
funny.
the cartoon was funny.
Was the spiders in the cartoon scary?
Was a spider in the cartoon scary?
No, the spiders in the cartoon weren't scary.
No, the spider in the
Were the
cartoon
spiders
was
in the
scary.
cartoon cute?
Was the spiders in the cartoon cute?
Yes, the spiders in the cartoon were cute.
Yes, the spiders in the cartoon was cute.
Before they watched the cartoon,
Before
were
they
they
watched
afraid
the
of
cartoon,
spiders?
was they afraid of spiders?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
Before
that's
they
correct.
watched the cartoon,
Before they
were
watched
afraid of
the cartoon,
spiders.
they were afraid of
What
spiders.
happened after they watched the cartoon?
What happened after they watched the cartoon?
After they watched the
After they
cartoon,
watched
the
the
fear
cartoon,
of spider was completely gone.
The fear of spider was
After they
completely
watched the
gone.
cartoon, were they
After they
still
watched
afraid of
the cartoon,
spiders?
was they still afraid of spider?
No, they weren't.
No,
After
they
they
weren't.
watched the cartoon,
After they
were
watched the
no longer
cartoon,
afraid of spiders.
they was no longer afraid of
Was the
spider.
fear of spiders completely gone?
Was the fear of spider completely gone?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, that's
The fear of
correct.
spiders was completely gone.
Yes, fear of spider was completely gone.